Here we go again. I'm just gonna have to do this whole video all over again. So today in television land, boys and girls, I'm gonna be talking about some stuff and going over it. You might recognize this game, you might not. We will be going over what I'm doing with this as well. Just a little introduction before we begin. Welcome to the show. Yippee. So, what are we going on about? This is the Miyoo flip. The infamous Miyoo flip with the easily broken hinge. You might want to buy one of these, but I don't recommend it. The hinge is going to be a hell of a hassle to fix. As an example, this is a hinge that was sent to me as a replacement. However, right here, this part with the UV resin on it popped right on top of the metal hinge. It's just a bad design. So they've made two different types of designs now. This is the original. They sent me the original as a replacement. Makes sense, right? It was the bad original design. And this is the revamped design without the indentation. Indentation, you might notice a big indentation. And this one doesn't have it anymore. The reason for that is because that's a very weak point, but it's inevitable. That metal hinge and the plastic, the combination of them both getting hot leads to, fatigue in the plastic, and eventually it snaps. It is a very tight thing, and hinges are something that's supposed to be tested thoroughly before they go out into production. It has to go through a lot of stress, and apparently they didn't do that. They never do. So I just wanted to show the Miyoo Flip B Flip. I'm working on. I'm using a Nully firmware for my games on this device. I highly recommend Nully. It's basically every Portmaster game I've thrown at it has booted. Versus Carl OS, Bruce, where there's always one game that doesn't work. It's like you can't win, man. But Nully, every Portmaster game boots and runs. Only having one little issue, and it's with San Andreas. The control scheme is a little bit screwed up. I've been looking for ways to change it. There's no config file, none of that stuff. So apparently, just gotta wait for somebody to do an update or something for the Nully firmware, and should be okay. But yeah, everything else works. As far as the hinge issue is concerned, I wanted to talk about the screen wobbling. My screen does not wobble, but when I did do the original, when I did originally put the UV resin in it, there's a potential problem that could crop up. Just be careful if you're gonna fix this thing to not allow this metal hinge pin to come out just a little bit. If it comes out even the slightest, there's gonna be massive amounts of wobbling going on because it's designed to have little teeth that lock into the plastic. So what I actually ended up doing, because I screwed it up, was I poured, as much as I could anyway, UV resin into the hinge base, and I just, sprayed it with UV light, and it solidified it and keeps the hinge in there nice and tight now. But who knows how long that'll last, but it's been working. So let's move on. What was I playing when I started this video? Well, I was playing this thing. Have you seen it? Have you heard of it? This is the cheapest, I guess, what do you call those things? handheld. Yeah, handhelds. Cheapest custom handhelds you can buy. Like it can be down to $8 in some sales. I bought mine for $11. So of course, this is just a throwaway nostalgia device. It's a novelty. It's designed to look like a Super Nintendo controller and play a bunch of Super Nintendo old school ROMs. But some, very smart and amazing people out there have come up with ways to enhance this thing's capabilities beyond its original intended purpose. So what can you play on it? What was I playing? Crash Bandicoot? Now you might have thought that's a video playing or something. Yeah. Well, it is capable of playing videos now. They've updated it to be able to play music. Nobody's going to use that, but whatever. Videos. What kind of video? Well, you have to convert the videos first. But yeah, there's options to use this thing to play videos. Me personally, I'm going to throw a bunch of old 80s cartoons, Mr. T cartoon, all kinds of stuff on here. Image, text, calculator. What the heck would I use a calculator on here for? But the big thing that someone has added to this thing's capabilities is PlayStation. So let's get to it. As I already demonstrated that game, Crash Bandicoot works. These are a bunch of games I'm testing, and just because I'm still here doesn't mean they work. Tomba is disappointing. That is one of the old school 2D/3D games for the PlayStation, and it crashes. So it's not even a crash. It just kind of like stalls, and you can still kind of see the frame per second counter and everything. So that's annoying when that happens. So we're going to demonstrate the PlayStation on the sf2000. That's the name of the thing. It's just a Super Nintendo uh, handheld Super Nintendo. I guess you could call it that. The Game Tendo. No, the handheld Super Nintendo probably would be the Game Boy Advance, right? So unfreaking believable that this thing can even like run. That's what's like blows me right the heck back. Like wow. Nah, people are arguing. Well, what's the point of playing low frame rate and all of that? It can do it. That's the point. You didn't think you could, and now it can. That's the point. So yes, so can 3D games work, like the more intense 3D games for the PlayStation? Can they? From what the developer says, probably not. Probably not. He's still working on it too, so it's like not even done yet. But the more intense 3D games are not going to be what you're going to be seeing working on here. But there's a lot of like simple games on the PlayStation that nobody really puts much recognition to that are going to be fine for this thing to play. Yeah. The simplistic cartoony games will work pretty well, I'm sure. And the less demanding games. So this is Tomb Raider. Take out the guns and start shooting. Bam, 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 bam. Tomb Raider. Okay. So there's a caveat. You cannot quit out of the game on what is this firmware? This firmware is called Frog UI. Can't quit out of the game. There's no quit option. They're still apparently developing that. So you just have to turn it off and turn it back on. That's how you quit. So it took me hours to figure out how to get the PlayStation to work on here, and I hope to save you the trouble. The way to get it to work is to have the file structure a certain way. Follow the guide, of course. In his thing, he says to name the file ps1. in the video that I came across that helped me tremendously, wish I could like easily see the video right now, but it's from this guy. Let me show you the channel. This isn't the video, but it's from this guy. Uh, damn it, can't really bring it up. Oh, you can see it now. Kigoy's Games. He has a channel. He has a video on the PlayStation. Follow what his file structure is and what he does, and you'll be fine. Because I'm following the guide, and I think I have to do all this batching. They have this thing where you have to open command, and you have to do a complex command line, and then enter and go into the file structure. I did all of that, and I still couldn't run the game. Turns out that you're just supposed to put the Q file in the root folder in the PSX or QPSX folder, and in the same name on the folder for the game, you also have the Q and bin file in there. So there's going to be a Q file outside of the folder and a Q file inside of the folder along with the bin file. And then the game will boot no problem. Like, it took me hours to get to somebody online explaining that. Like, come on, man. Why does it have to be that hard? Oh, let's see what else I got. Yeah, I mean, the program's called QPSX. His file structures was called QPSX. So in the guide for the official thing on the GitHub, it says to call it PSX. I know, it works. I'm not going to go crazy about it. You know. But yeah, man, being able to rock some cool stuff from the PlayStation days is what this is all about. Like, you play cartoony 8-bit, 16-bit games all the time? No. Okay. So what else to say? Yeah, we could play PlayStation on this thing now. It's pretty cool. Not much else to say on that matter. Hopefully they fix the part where we can. Yeah, this is pretty cool actually. The thing that is interesting is that you could do a lot of customization now with it. There's like a lot more than you thought originally. You can put moving videos as the wallpaper and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's not something I'm gonna be doing. Oh, I could change the theme to Commodore 64 too, so that's something I want to look into. Yes, this is Masters of Teres Kasi. So basically, I was just using this opportunity to kind of play the game, but also to prove that this is real. It's not a video. I'm actually playing. Oh crap! My control scheme is not what I initially had. See, now I gotta change the control. Why? R button's gotta be R2. Yeah, Star Wars reference. There you go. My face. This is like the only appearance of this chick, Arden Lynn. Yeah, kick your ass. Not my lightsaber. Nah, you're gonna get it. That's right. I wish I could use the Force. This is my place, Dagobah. Oh, she's about to do something to me. That's right. Yeah, you can see my skills. I know how to play this game. I'm playing this since I was a kid. Alright, I gotta go now. See if I can use my superpowers. Oh, just about to throw the lightsaber. You Crazy. All right. That's the end of that. Hope you enjoyed.